Madam Speaker, I stand to support the supplementary budget as read by the chair of the Budget and Appropriation Committee. As he prepares the budget for the financial year 2024-25, I would like them to really relook at the estimates that they put and to ensure that we don't over budget, because when we over budget, as we can see, there's been a reduction on capital expenditure of over 73 billion. And the reason why I say they should not over budget is because it's the budgets that informs the finance committee on the monies that they need to raise. And it's ambitious budgets that actually make us look for ways to raise money that sometimes actually pits us against an economy that is struggling and an economy that has been dwindling. I feel that we need to put a lot more money in Article 2 to 3, which will look after the people the citizens that were affected by the floods. We need to really look at how much money we're going to put, especially here in the county of Nairobi. We have seen so many demolitions happening to pave way for the Nairobi River projects, which we commend the government. We need to sort out our dilapidating state of the rivers. We need to safeguard our citizens by reclaiming the riparian land. But that there is a way to do certain things, and we have not followed etiquette ways of doing things. I mean, if we were supposed to actually budget well, we would then be able to put in structures that would make sure that we have a humane face when we're dealing with the citizens who are the citizens of Kenya and look up to us as government to provide for them. I hope that in this supplementary budget, we would also look into the feeding programs for our students, because we have a challenge in not only the public schools, we have a challenge in the community-based schools and in the faith-based schools. We need to start actually touching lives. And when I say touching lives, I don't mean with long-term projects. I mean touching lives with short-term, immediate projects. Right now, we've been pledging to pay the people whose houses we've demolished 10,000 shillings. For me, 10,000 shillings is mediocre. We're thinking that this person whose house we have demolished, we will get 10,000, or because he lives in a slum, he'll be able to find a house, pay a deposit, and then be able to move. What we have not realized is the emotional damage that we have caused that person. Any government, if I were the president of this country, and I I want to say this, because if I was the president of this country and I wanted to clear out the riparian land, the first thing I would have done is gone and identified the houses that I'm going to break. Nobody even knows where it's 30 meters, whether it's 30 meters. People are just waking up with X and their houses are demolished. I would have known that here there's 1,000 houses. I would have actually made sure that I know where they are moving to. Not just break the houses and then tell them to move. Then once I've known that these are the people, because right now you've left it to the chiefs and the DCI and the DCCs have no idea whose houses they've broken, who are the genuine beneficiaries. I mean, it's because we're disorderly. And if government is disorderly, then you can expect citizens will be disorderly. If we had identified and we had budgeted, okay, and we had known this number of people in this particular slum are going to be moved. These are their names. This is the money. This is where you're going to be relocated. You've got 7 days. Then we give them money that is sufficient. And for me, we should have looked at not less than 50,000 per family. 10,000 shillings is not enough. We could have actually said we're giving you NHIF cover. You know, there has to be benefits, because those people found themselves in those riparian lands because we as government failed. We failed the citizens. We have approved for them to build. They didn't just wake up and build. And I'm tired of a Kenya where people are buying land, having title deeds, and then getting loans from banks, and then one fine morning we wake up and say, that's an illegality. It's an illegality that we have caused. So how much money are we putting to strengthening the structures of this country? Because our structures are weak. Yesterday I saw Felix Kosgei on TV saying that the government is going to be zero tolerant on corruption. There is no way you're going to have zero tolerance on corruption if you have not given corruption, the entities that fight corruption, money. Have we given them enough money so that they can fight corruption? I really want to see, even within that supplementary, because nothing is cast on stone, that you provide more money for the citizens that we have aggrieved. We need more food for the citizens that we have aggrieved. And I'm tired of people looking at Nairobi and thinking Nairobi is a rich county. Nairobi is not a rich county because of failures of devolution through corruption. So we need to actually make sure that we actually have an equalization fund for Nairobi. Because as long as all those counties that are getting money are failing, everybody ends up coming for greener pastures in Nairobi. Nairobi is over-congested. And as I stand here, I support fully, and I hope that the budget can consider this, 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. We need to make sure that we appropriate budgets that way. We need to make sure that every citizen, and this will actually improve our democracy, because when we say 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling, people will take voting seriously. People will ensure that they register as voters. Because right now we have voter apathy. 8 million people did not vote. Why? Because they have no confidence in government. But when we take resources to the places that are needed, how can you give Kasarani, which has over 300,000 people, the same resources as you give us a constituency with 11,000 people? We are failing. So as we budget, let us budget according to our pockets. As we then budget according to our pockets, then we actually look for ways to raise money. And as we look for ways to raise money, okay, let's also remember that we owe a lot of people. I want to know that Budgets and Appropriation Committee budget that we have right now, the supplementary. Have we made sure that we're going to pay some pending bills? We have actually made our citizens very, very poor because we're not paying pending bills. So, you know, as a government, let me tell you, when I was looking at the South African elections and I saw how the DA party got so many votes, I'll tell you, there will come a time that the DA party will rule South Africa. And there will come a time that an independent candidate will be the president of this country. Because at the end of the day, people are getting poorer and poorer. No matter what we do, how are we going to change that? It starts with budgeting, and we have to have a human touch. Government might be a building, but the building is run by humans. And if we are leaders and we go out and ask for votes, let us start touching lives. Let us start saving lives. Let us start empowering and enriching our citizens. We need to do that. And if it's tightening the belt, let's even start with Parliament tightening its belt. I'm for every entity that needs to tighten its belt so that the citizens of this country can be enriched and empowered. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker.